lovely people. Hello, TDA family. It is Tuesday, the 6th of September. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favourite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And you guys know you're obviously here with us, so you've got amazing people hosting the show. I am one of your hosts, your favourite shade queen, never lacking shade queen, my own royalty.
It's Use, aka this, aka that.
Jeez. And they call me Emman, the pro-black activist, TDA producer, news analyst. The melanin is jam-packed.
Always. It has to. It stays jam-packed.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys know the drill by now. You should know the drill. But actually, do you know what? If it's your first time tuning in, hello, welcome. We're a very great bunch. We give you news. We give you tea. We give you music recommendations.
You know what? Can we run that back from the top?
Run what from the top?
Like, me start the beginning again, like, because I forgot to press something. So let's start again. Let's start everything again. I'm doing everything on the fly right now.
You forgot to press record.
No. It's recorded. It's definitely recorded. But let's start.
But is there a live?
Yeah, it's live.
And the people on the live have seen my intro already?
They're understanding that this is Brent's fault. All right, go.
All right. Just making sure.
Let's go again, yeah? All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and...
6th of April. We are your favourite news platform, the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. You are, of course, hosted by the best people. You're hosted by the best people, okay? The best people were lit vibes were great. And I am one of your hosts, your favourite shade queen, my own royalty.
So they heard what I said before, right?
Yeah.
All right, what I said before.
And they call me Emman, the pro-black activist,
Okay.
TDA producer and news analyst.
That's right.
Melanin jam-packed.
Always. Yeah, that definitely threw me off. Is the first bit going to go in there, Brent?
Yeah. No, I'm going to take it off.
I think you should.
It's gonna,
I think you should go in
but
there.
that's why I said, they heard what I said before. I thought you were keeping the whole thing in.
All right, I'll keep it.
I think keep the whole thing in because you really threw me off. But you guys know the rule, right? You know what happens over here. If it's your first time tuning into the show, welcome. And we expect you to stay because we're actually great vibes. But like this video, subscribe to the channel and join the TNB network. And you can do that by typing into your browser, community.thenewblack.com. And also join the TDA backstage access, which is where all things TDA happens. How's everyone doing today?
I'm cool, man. I'm cool. I was keeping abreast on the timeline yesterday.
Keeping abreast
Keeping abreast
of
of the timeline.
what timeline?
The timeline, you know, news, Twitter, all that. The timeline.
Oh yeah.
So I was aware, you know, on what type of show we'll be having
Today.
on this Tuesday morning. So yeah, man. Politics at the ready.
Just close what you're saying. That's so funny. So that's how you're feeling today.
Yeah.
Emman?
Yeah, I feel great, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good, love to see it. Brent?
I'm all right, thanks. I'm multitasking right now. So
Oh yeah, sorry.
I don't
Brent is
even know what he's even doing. What's he doing?
so basically Brent is up every episode. Brent is basically up in our production.
Yeah.
So sometimes on the banner you can see the little banner things.
Yeah.
He's adding great things. So now today what Brent's task is or his mission is that when we're done with the show,
Yeah.
he's just gonna go live. So this live is gonna just stay up.
Okay.
But also he's gonna be editing as we go on. So you know usually when we go live, he would take it down to add in the little the little bits in between word and road, rotation, all that bit. But this time he's going to be doing it as we're going on. Yeah.
Okay.
The skills is, the man's talent is just ridiculous. God really just gave it all to you, aren't you? Really God's favourite, aren't you, babes?
You hear that, Emmanuel?
Yep.
I'm God's favorite.
Well, yeah, we have an amazing show for you. We predicted some things yesterday and we need to address it this lovely morning on day one of our new Prime Minister.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into our first headline.
All right. Okay.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
What happened?
This is what Brent did. This is sick. So when we did the headlines, we played the music, And on there actually had the headlines thing. Like that.
Oh, sick.
Okay, Brent, come through.
It's like an everyday thing now.
Yeah, okay. This is production. BBC could never. They can't. BBC could never.
Bro, what you say?
It's gonna cut some hours off from my.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought it was
sick.
for as well. Help me with time.
Yeah, love it. Okay.
BBC, hands off Brent.
Listen,
Don't try.
it belongs to the new black.
God's favorite. I gotta eat.
All right. So, Liz Truss has been announced as the UK's next Prime Minister after winning the Conservative Party leadership. Ms Truss was revealed as the winner of the leadership contest by Sir Graham Brady, who's the chairman of the 1922 Committee of Conservative Backbench MPs. She won by 57.4%, compared to 42.6% for former Chancellor Rishi Sunak. She won by a comfortable margin, but her victory was slimmer than in other recent leadership contests. Boris Johnson is due to announce his resignation to the Queen on Tuesday. Actually, he's literally doing it right now. Shortly after this, Ms Truss will be appointed by the monarch as the next PM. The Foreign Secretary used her victory speech to indicate she would not trigger an early general election, instead pledging to secure a great victory for the Conservative Party in 2024. Ms Truss said it is an honour to be elected, as she thanked her party for organising one of the longest job interviews in history. In a short speech after the result was announced, she issued a thanks to her friend, Mr Johnson. She said, "You got Brexit done. You crushed Jeremy Corbyn. You rolled out the vaccine and you stood up to Vladimir Putin."
Girl, you already got the job. Stop it. Heck.
She's giving him props, man.
She didn't look.
Reacting to Ms Truss's victory, he said, "She has the right plan to tackle the cost of living crisis, unite our party, and continue the great work of uniting and levelling up our country." Mr Sunak, who is the former Chancellor, has also called for the Conservative Party to unite behind Ms Truss after his loss. In a tweet, he said, "Thank you to everyone who voted for me in this campaign. I've said throughout that the Conservatives are one family. It's right. We now unite behind the new PM, Liz Truss, as she steers the country through difficult times."
So basically, when this news came out, I was in the studio.
Okay.
Brent was actually watching the news, but I didn't clock for a while just because, I didn't pay any attention sometimes. And then I went on Twitter and I was like, "Oh, she's the new Prime Minister." And Brent was like, "Well, yeah." But yeah, so we kind of were talking about, the stats in which, the votes she got, the percentages.
Yep.
Kind of ish close, right? Brent was saying. And then we were kind of coming up with theories.
Okay.
Because, for us in this room, we kind of knew Sis was going to win. We did the whole hierarchy thing yesterday.
Yep.
But then we were talking about maybe it's that close so that it's not suspicious kind of thing.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It's like a little conspiracy thing going on.
But that's because you think the votes are rigged.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Nothing is off limits here. But then I was saying that, because because the UK loves the whole we're not racist. Sunak probably got less than that. But then Liz was like, okay, well, not Liz, the people, the firm, were like, let's give him a little bit more. Because imagine he got 20%. That screams racism. That's a distraction from everything she's going to have to do. But I love a conspiracy theory. I don't think it's far-fetched. Listen, did you guys ever watch Scandal?
I only watched a few episodes,
You should watch it properly again. Scandal taught me a lot of things.
About politics. No.
Yes, and the government and how everything is not as it seems.
So is Liz Truss deemed to be a way less competent human being than
Not a human
Rishi?
being.
In terms of her credentials for the job? So I'm trying to lean into your notion that, they tried to rig the votes to make it not look racist. But is there a disparity between their credentials that vast that if... what am I trying to say?
I 100% believe that's the case. So she's white and she's a woman.
Yeah.
Right? And she was woeful during the campaign. Like,
Okay, yeah, that's what I mean.
Absolutely woeful. Sunak literally blazed her.
So Sunak he's more qualified.
I think, based on what I saw, yes.
And the disparity is
I
vast.
believe so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I believe so. Just based on the campaign alone.
Okay.
So yeah, I agree. And that's why I'm feeling this particular conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Myself.
Oh yeah, no, I can definitely lean into that as well. Also, just so I can gauge about the Conservatives, if these two candidates were members of the Labour Party, who do you think would have won? As in a white woman and an Asian man.
Labour, I think
based not not based on their credentials, just based on that.
I think Rishi would have won.
Serious?
Labour love a whole. We're here for the people. We're diverse. We are great. We are the forward-thinking ones. I think Rishi would have won.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe so too.
I think Sunak. Sorry, I think Truss. You know.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't think Labour's that far progressive. Really, I don't think a leader, a black leader or Asian leader, they're ready for that.
Look at the mayor of London, sir.
That's the mayor of London, man. That's just London. That's the country. Yes, and now talk with Putin and Biden and.
But you know what though?
And make big decisions.
I'll be honest with you. Yeah, Rishi, as much as obviously, what's her name, Liz, she does give like strong woman vibes.
Yeah.
Rishi gives off like, I know what the heck, like authority vibes. Do you get what I mean? He reminds me of Scar from Lion King. Is that racist to say?
No. Why?
Why?
I don't know, everything's racist these days. I don't know. I'm just trying to make sure. But he really does. Like he gives me like authority.
I think so.
Let's do this and da da da. Yeah. But I haven't heard him speak to me. This is how he looks. So maybe when he talks, it's a different situation. I mean, I'm going off what we had for Boris Johnson. Jimmy never came to say that he wasn't he didn't look presentable. Like his tie was too. I hate a tie where it's too small. The triangle's too small.
Yeah.
Very pathetic. Very, very pathetic. His tie was like that. Sometimes it's a bit off. His shirt's not really tucked in. His hair was all over the place. But Sunak presents as somebody that's like, I can be a leader.
I think he presents as somebody that is, you may trust what he's saying, but I don't think people will fully want to listen to him, if that makes sense. I feel it's kind of like having somebody who's like a smart leader, but somebody you don't fear. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I think he's one of those type of guys.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like he strikes me as well as cunning. Like he will lie and cheat his way to get where he needs to get to, and he will just spin the block on everybody else.
That's Johnson to me. I don't think Sunak's like that, compared to Johnson, though.
Johnson's a joke.
But he's not, though. To become prime minister,
isn't,
he's a very intelligent man.
He's just he reminds me of like, he should be like Gordon Brown's brother or something.
So are we in the mud with Liz because of her policies or because she's just not, competent? Like she's not good for the job, or is it mainly because of her policies, or both?
Me personally, I don't think we're in the mud with her.
Okay.
I think that her, at least from an economic standpoint, I rather believe her policy is better. I believe her policy is better than Sunak's one.
Okay.
That's what I think. The other stuff I don't know enough about.
Yeah.
But in dealing with the crisis and stuff, incentivizing businesses and lowering tax, I believe that's better long term.
So when is so tax will be lowered?
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
It'll benefit the rich more though. But yeah.
I mean, we're nearly there. When's the next general election?
2024, I believe.
I feel like people are still going to vote Conservative,
Yeah.
People are going to vote Conservative until I get married and have kids. And that might be a long time. I don't think this country is really like... I think we just chat, man. But I also don't think Labour are giving anything. Because I know one of them tweeted yesterday, like, something about, Labour is Conservatives again. Labour will have the answers, blah, blah. But it's like, what solution do you possibly have? I can't lie to you, I see them as a weak party.
Yeah.
I feel like they're more concerned about having good PR, making the youths like them, than anything else. And what's that guy's name? Jeremy...
Stammer. You were talking about
Corbyn.
Stammer.
Yeah, Stammer was one who tweeted it.
Okay.
Yeah, he was one who tweeted nonsense. But Jeremy Corbyn as well, I just feel I'm like, you can't be a leader. I don't know much about politics, but I'll be a better leader than you.
This the things. Like Labour, yeah, they've lost it. Tony Blair was the guy. You know what I'm saying? And we're not going to get another Tony Blair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he's a very controversial figure, right? But at least he was able to get people together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's so crazy. I don't look at him as a controversial figure,
Because of the war and that, innit?
Yeah, no, I understand that's why.
But
when I look at him, I just look at him as a harmless, just
Lucky.
yeah, like he don't strike fear in me. Like
that's why he's brilliant.
Like, when you hear like Putin or just names like that, you think of like Iron Fist. When you think of Tony Blair, you think of a pushover. A little bit.
I would be more nervous being in the presence of Margaret Thatcher than I would.
Like Thatcher, she's like the Iron Lady.
Actually, than any of the male prime
Tony
ministers.
Blair just doesn't give me. I don't. Yeah, there's no vim there.
But I think that's also why he was really good, man. Because I don't think definitely wasn't a pushover, Because he was doing a lot. Yeah, he was doing a lot, man.
I think his name's a bit calm. It's not strong enough. He reminds me of one of the girls from Gossip Girl.
Is it? What,
Yeah, I think it was like Blair or something like that.
What, a Blair Witch Project?
The who?
Blair Witch Project.
A witch?
You know the film, The Blair Witch Project?
No.
It's a horror.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Nah, he ain't scared. He'll be the first to die.
Also, when the black community normally like rally together to, you know, encourage people to vote and, you know, try to create this whole this vote thing, it's normally to back Labour, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I was going to ask was, within this, what percentage of black people do you reckon voted in this
for the Conservatives?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was the Tories, wasn't it?
Oh, it was the Tories?
Oh, you mean like the
Tories,
election, or do you mean this PM situation?
This PM wasn't, this
wasn't public, this was just the Tories, yeah.
I mean, normally it's just Labour. As in
What,
when-
that black people would support? Yeah.
Most
Okay,
of us,
okay.
yeah.
Typically. In my house.
I think more black people are going a bit towards Tories now, though.
Yeah, because Labour I feel like what they do here, for me, when I read their manifesto and stuff, it just gives me wishful thinking. Is any of these things actually possible? You want to get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. As much as, you know, I fight for the idea of having more money and the government, you know, open their pockets and whatever, I'm also a realist in that where's money going to come from?
Yeah.
So whenever, Labour come and say, we're going to get rid of this, you're going to have more money, you're going to do it. Bro, where's the money coming from?
This is it. And that's what they were doing a lot during Corbyn's time.
Yeah, they were
Everything was,
chatting the
we're gonna
most.
take this away. And it's
You
annoying.
can't.
You can't do it. You can't.
And I think as well, if they had to deal with COVID, people think Boris did a bad job. We might not even be here. It might be one person on TDA today. But it's ridiculous.
Yeah, they need to like start using their initiative. I think everything is, like I was saying the other day, I think with Labour, it's very reactionary. Whatever Tories do, we have to find a way to make them look bad or do this. There's nothing new. There's no new ideas.
They act on emotions.
Yeah.
But the next bit is a bit of, it's good news, but we don't know.
Yes, exactly. So, next headlines to do with Priti Patel. She has resigned as the Home Secretary hours before she was widely expected to be dropped from the role by incoming Prime Minister Liz Truss. In a resignation letter to Boris Johnson, Patel said it was her choice to continue her public service from the backbenches when Truss formally takes up her post as Prime Minister on Tuesday. While she pledged her support to the new leader, she said it was vital that she continued to support the policies she had pursued to tackle illegal immigration, including the deportation of asylum seekers to Rwanda. She tweeted, It has been the honor of my life to serve as the Home Secretary for the past 3 years. I'm proud of our work to back the police, reform our immigration system, and protect our country. Writing to Mr. Johnson, Ms. Patel said, Britain has always been a beacon for freedom and democracy, and I have been proud to work with you over the last 3 years to make that light shine brighter. All of this has been achieved, despite the relentless efforts of our political opponents and left-wing activists, lawyers, and campaigners.
She's the funniest woman to exist. How you made a mission to send people to Rwanda and anywhere you could. Any asylum seeker, you looked at a way to get them out, and you had the cheek to say Britain is a beacon for freedom and democracy. Girl, bye.
To be fair to her, why can't it be both? Because remember, you're your country, right? We're struggling already. She would just be allowing people to come in, just like this.
She gotta allow them, but she doesn't. She you know, Nigerian saying where someone wears something on their head. She wore like anti-immigration on her. Like she really became that poster girl. Like girl.
Because it's got
Relax.
worse though. It's got like significantly worse.
I guess so, but then to be fair, then she didn't really actually. When you think about it, she wasn't successful at her job then, because Rwanda never happened.
Yeah.
She didn't really do anything other than threaten to do things.
It depends though, because if Truss and them continue with her line of thinking, they may. Because remember, they got it. It was all allowed, right?
Yeah.
According to the British courts, but the European courts basically put something in place, innit?
Yeah.
So this is why I believe it's Dominic Raab and the rest of them guys was talking about changing the law.
Yeah.
And how much we have to listen to the European courts. So once they change those human rights laws, Liz Truss and them may decide, you know what, back to Rwanda again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, she laid the foundation.
To be fair, she doesn't really get credit for resigning. You don't. If you resign before you quit. I mean, it's nice that you have shame, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But I wonder who'll be next. This might be worse than her. That's the thing. That's something like it's good news, but you don't know what's around the corner.
This is very true. I personally, like, even though I may not like what she was doing and stuff like that, I think for the country and what she was, appointed to do, I think she was very good at it, man.
Yeah, I will say, as much as she's annoying, I do think she did do her job.
Yeah,
in terms of what her job description was.
Yeah.
She did that.
She was driven, man.
She even strikes me as a strong figure, actually.
Yeah.
She supposed to be Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, she strikes me as a strong figure, but boy, be close to slavery with her. All right, let's get into what you say in our topic of the day.
It's to do with working from home. And the question is, should we be paid, or should you or whoever be paid more to work from home? Right? I'm going to give you some figures just to, provide context.
Mm-hmm.
So people who work from home, allegedly during the winter, are more likely to spend 75% more on gas and 25% more on electricity, right?
Okay.
Boiling a kettle 3 times a day will add £8 more to their monthly bills, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they're to use their ovens and stuff for lunch, for cooking lunch every day or whatever during that month, it's going to add an extra £23.42 to their bill. Also, using their computers, right? Desktop computers, laptops, this, that, and the third, it's going to add an extra £36 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So just those figures, outside of the whole 75% more for gas and electricity, right?
Yeah.
You're looking at about what? An extra 60 odd quid, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So a month. Now, especially as we've been speaking about these crazy increases in the cost of living because of the whole gas and electricity, adding that on top, it's going to be a lot. So again, should employers pass on their profits to employees? Should they help out more?
Are they subtracting travel costs?
See, that's...
As in, obviously, they're calculating how much more they'll spend on energy being at home. But when they get that figure, are they taking away the travel costs?
See, that's a good question. That's basically part of the debate.
Okay.
Because what I was going to say was, this is, in fact, these figures is to say why you should go back to the office, isn't it? But the way I'm a half glass full kind of babe. The way I see it is £60 more every month. But when I go to the office, I spend like, £300 on travel?
There you go.
So technically, I'm in the plus.
There you go.
But I also think, I'm an advocate for working from home.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten used to doing nice things. Mm-hmm. I think that if you want to go to the office, that's fine. Do that. I don't think everyone should be forced to go to the office. I think COVID showed us that we've got different ways to work now. Mm-hmm. There are people who work at jobs in this country who live in other countries. There's people who work in this country who work jobs in other countries. Mm-hmm. I just think the world is hard enough as it is. Make life easy for people. In terms of being paid more to work from home, I do think productivity in my industry is higher at home than it is in the office. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think because productivity is higher, I think each workplace should measure it, and you should treat your employers as such.
That's what I thought. I thought, isn't this results based? So my question is, why do employers want employees to come back to work?
They've been annoying.
Like, if the work's getting done, then what's the problem? If the work's actually getting done. If the work isn't getting done, they feel like, you know what, you being at home, you're less productive, you're late on sending this, things are not being done, then fair enough. We feel like you working at home is not productive. But if this particular one person, for example, is working from home and they're doing a great job, then what's the problem?
Because technically, they're saving on gas bills if no one's in the office.
This is
you have the building because you have certain things you need the building for, but you're even saving more money than I am in office. I honestly just think this country is miserable, right? And I think that any chance of some form of light or hope or calmness that people could possibly have, they find ways to take it away from people because it makes no sense to me. Like, it makes absolutely no sense to me. When we're all locked up and we had nowhere to go, it was fine to work from home then. Yes, outside is open again, cool, whatever. But really, if it's not affecting the business in a bad way, what is the big deal about, like, why are you so pressed about people not coming to the office?
It's because they want to watch you work? Like, what's the
Yeah,
actual,
I think
or
it's
is it
that.
because obviously they're paying for this building and they want it to be used, or the offices, whatever. What's the actual specific reason?
I think it's just because it's a way to micromanage and just, again, oppress people. I really think the whole job thing, the whole working and stuff, is a form of
It
oppression, in
must
my
be,
opinion.
because if
And I think it's that.
if the work's being done, then what's
What's
the
the
issue?
beef?
But remember, this is not a case. This is not like every employer who's saying this.
Yeah.
A lot of employers are basically saying, no, work from home. That's okay.
Yeah.
Because like you said, they're saving money. And like we heard before, some of them are actually subletting their offices out.
Yeah.
So they're
Yes.
making peas that way. as
Look at
well.
that.
So they're okay if you're staying at home.
It's the government, isn't it?
But it's more so the question is, because now the employers are benefiting from this,
Yeah.
i.e. subletting and things of that nature,
Yeah.
should they then be paying you more?
I'll be
That's
honest with you.
that's
I,
basically what it is.
Okay.
I could do a little bit of check. I could.
But like you just said, why would
Because-
we be paying you more?
No, let me tell you why.
Okay.
Because I am so productive at home,
Okay.
which is why I don't need to be in the office,
Okay.
which makes the office free for you to be doing additional landlord.
But I get that.
That was sick. That was make that a clip, Brent.
Don't make that a clip.
I'm so proud of that.
But all of those decisions, right? For example, that business to hire or to actually buy their building had nothing to do with you. So
It did.
It didn't.
Because if I was so flipping useless at this job, you would need me in the office so you can literally be on my ass.
No, but
But I'm not. I've proven to be a worthy, independent employee. And that's created space in the office.
If I buy a car, and I drop you to work every day, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you get a job where you're working from home.
Yeah.
And I can rent out my car. Should you get some of the money from the rent? in
That's
the car?
different.
How?
You don't
It's the same thing.
You don't have a history of slave ownership in your life. That's different. That is different because that's a favor. If I was working for and my reward was those lifts, then if you're benefiting a bit more, then I should benefit a bit more.
Okay.
But that's a favor, so that's different. I'm not doing favors at work.
Yeah, but you're being paid for it.
Barely. Because you know what it is? Sorry, what it is as well, what gets me as well, yeah. The reason why I think people should get bonuses is because the top people get bonuses that's stupid.
Yeah.
Yes, they've had to work hard, blah, blah, to get there. I mean, some of them, they found themselves there, got there in other means, and I'm not going to focus on you today. But you're there, right? There's so much money for them to share up there that the people who do, I think people who work the lower end of the hierarchy jobs, I think they work harder, in my opinion, than people all the way at the top.
Yeah.
Right? You're not rewarding them. So down there, the job satisfaction there is low, but somehow there's so much profit that you guys are able to reward yourself at the top. I'm sorry, but if you're going to be rewarded, everybody should get rewarded. Because my thing is, I know for a fact that all these employers, all the top, the COOs and the CEOs and the managers and whatever, they're getting a benefit from these places being sublet. So if you're going to do a whole, let everybody be great in the company and let everyone receive satisfaction, pass the money down to the people lower down on the food chain. If there's more money for, because what are you using the money for?
Their personal business, isn't it?
So me, so the workers in our personal business.
Yeah, but you're not the business owner.
Furthermore, anyway, inflation's going up. I really think people's salaries should be, it should, to an extent, reflect the fact that inflation is going up, because I'm getting the same pay. You're getting bonuses every other Wednesday. I'm getting the same pay, but I'm suffering more. And you have the cheek to tell me, sorry, where's the budget for me to come into the office these days? The way the gas price and energy bills, all these things going up, where is the actual budget? Because my salary is still the same. So where is and train price and stuff is going to go up again in January like clockwork, because that's apparently now a ritual that we do in this country. So do you get what I mean? So I think people should get paid more to work from home. Yes, they're saving money on transport and blah, blah, blah. But the reason why you don't need them in the office to literally micromanage them is because they're doing a great job, reward people for things. But I just think this country doesn't like good things. This country does not like people to have good things. That is the bottom line of it.
Okay, so
Because are they going to pay people more if they come to the office then?
no, they pay what you was paid before. Why should we increase it though? If we're paying you X amount before all of this COVID stuff, why should
So I might as well
increase it
be
to
in my
come
house then and still be productive. Because I'm going to tell you, people are not as productive in the office. People do smoking breaks, tea breaks. People are getting tea every other second. It's ridiculous. Always making tea. That's why they even had to work in here about you're saving £8 a day.
Yeah.
So imagine how many kettles are being boiled in the office when people are getting tea at different times.
Okay.
I'm helping you save money. You put the money in my pocket.
Okay.
I said I'm a strong advocate for working from home because I like nice things. I think it's out of order.
I think also you have to consider like why people are getting paid. Are they getting paid for the job they're doing, or are they getting paid and should expect to be rewarded?
I think people get paid for the job they're doing because if I'm doing a bad job, you fire me.
There you go. So, but now you're saying because the company's doing well, we should be rewarded because the people at the top are being rewarded.
Yeah, but my point is that I think people are more, and actually I believe this was even in like stats and whatever, people are more productive working from home because some of you don't have time management and some of you are really working from the dawn till the absolute dusk. Do you get what I mean? So people, because I work more when I'm at home. Do you get what I mean? Like I'm working a lot more when I'm at home than when I'm in the office. So people are more productive. So yes, when you have your job, you should be productive. That's the baseline, great. But I think if you're more productive, and we can actually measure this and see this, that you're more productive, you should get a reward for that.
Shouldn't.
Otherwise, what's that thing you encouraged us to do the other day?
I was
Quiet
just about
quitting.
to say that to you. Because like, can't the employer basically say, well, at the end of the day, I never asked you to do this. I'm not paying
And that's
for
fine
this.
because I'm a quiet quit.
Then
I'm actually surprised you're more productive working from home.
I am, because you know what? In the office, there's too many distractions.
I'm the opposite.
Really?
If I'm at home, then I've got all my home comforts. I've got my bed, I've got my TV, I'm wearing my normal clothes, whatever. I'm in a comfortable setting where work is not really at the forefront of my mind. But when I'm at work, I've come here with intention to work, and that's all I'm here for.
Really?
I'm dressed the way I should be dressed. I'm in the work environment. I'm around my colleagues. This is my objective to be here. At home, there's so much distractions. I'm in my home mindset.
Okay.
So I can't be more productive at home. No way. I'm way less productive at home.
Do you know what's funny? Because before COVID, because my workplace, we do 5 days working from home. So every 10 days, 5 of them is, so this week like 3, next week 2, that kind of vibe. This is pre-COVID, right?
Okay.
And I always found that the days I worked from home, I would do way more than when I was in the office. Because I think in the office, there's just too many distractions. And my office is like an open plan office. So people are talking, I'm hearing stuff and blah, blah. And I just think even just the environment of it, even other people having conversations around me and people constantly getting up to do tea. And then also, you know, obviously people can, because I know this was one of the things people said about when they were anti-working from home, because they were saying about the human contact. I mean, I'm not really hello, let's all be quiet here. When I go into the office anyway, I offer maximum on a great day 3 good mornings. If you don't get in by the 3, that's not my business. But like, I know people were saying about how, so usually you send someone an email, right? But if you work from an office, you can actually just walk over, and that wastes time. Send me an email, I reply to it, that's that done.
Yeah.
People come over, so how are you then? Oh, blah, blah. Before you know it, you've come over to ask me one simple question. Before you know it, they're still standing on my desk 30 minutes. I'm looking at them like, I have shit. Sometimes people will be talking to me and I'm typing.
They don't get the message.
They don't get the message. They're still there talking. Do you get what I mean? So I think for me, I just always found that I was more productive working from home. And I think when COVID happened anyway, my work had to continue. And so I never did the whole furlough stuff. I carried on working. But I found that I was working a lot more. But what I had to do was then have a strict schedule of, okay, these are my working times. And that's it. Because literally I would be there morning till evening. But I do think as well, I am aware that's my personality, because all the comforts you said, that's what I love. Having to dress smart and go to the work, like all of that stuff makes me uncomfortable. When I'm at home, I'm wigless, I've got my headscarf on, I've got booty shorts on, I've got singlet, I'm under my duvet, and I am getting this work in. Do you get what I mean? So I think it's really about how, I guess, you personally can function.
Yeah, of course.
Because when I think about when I was studying, I could only study properly at home, like during the night.
Okay.
Early hours in the morning. During the day, I have to be in the library. Because again, I need to be in the place where what the function of this place is to study. Do you get what I mean? So I really think it depends on the individual, really. And that's why I think workplaces shouldn't force everybody to come back to the office, because everyone works in different ways. Yeah. I think gauge it, because there's some people who do want to go back. Obviously, some people live on their own, and some people actually like the idea of human interaction and stuff like that. That's great, but I just think it should be a thing where everyone should get to choose what it is that they want to do, but according to the business needs and productivity. If I say I want to work from home, but then when you work from home, you're not meeting targets, you're not doing these things, come to the office. Do you get what I mean?
The thing is, if you are, to answer that question at hand, if you are saving the company business by working from home, then as the employee, yeah, of course I'm going to want to get paid more.
Yeah.
But as the business, I don't feel like I have to pay you more because you're working from home. So it works. It works both ways. I'm always on the side of the employee, innit? Always.
Yeah.
But I can also look and see how it looks from a business standpoint and the business owner standpoint. And the employer is always going to want more money. The employer is always going to try and save as much money as they can. So it's one of them ones. But I don't feel like you should get paid more because you're working from home.
Yeah, exactly. And also bear in mind, like how long does it take you to get to work? Roughly?
Well, is this including like me having to mentally prepare myself and stuff? Do you mean the actual travel?
The actual travel.
From where I am now, it's not that bad. It's about 30, I would say 45 minutes.
What before was a bit more?
Yeah.
Because I think average is like an hour, I think, for most people.
Yeah.
Right?
Give or take, yeah.
So imagine you're getting to pay £20 an hour now. Effectively, the hour before, as in the hour going to work, the hour going back home, you're saving, like that's money that you're not being paid for, essentially.
But I'm still using to work.
Why?
Giving slavery. Because I'm making my way to the work to get paid. But when I'm at home, I can just start at my time.
That's what I'm saying. So this is why the employer is thinking, wow, you're saving time here. 2 hours is saved for you to do anything you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
I'm using them 2 hours to work.
But you're not.
No, what it means is if you start work at 9 and you go to the office, you have to wake up at what time do you wake up to go to office?
Boy, when I was going into the office, if I was going to get there at 9, I'd have to leave my house at like 7:45.
And what time do you actually wake up?
Well, my alarm goes at 6:30. I think about life.
Yeah.
Convince myself why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 6:45, I would say.
6:45. And when you work from home, what time do you wake up?
5 minutes before I need to log in.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So you save time in the morning, and then on the way home as well, you save time too.
Yeah, but then again, I'm working later though because I don't have to do that travel. So I have more. I invest more time into my work. I think if you're producing the same level of work,
you problem.
it's not. It's not. No, but it's not. It's not a me problem because it's helping the company.
I'm messing.
Do you get what I mean? It's helping the company because if people are more productive, that means you can add more work into the mix.
Okay, so
I'm freeing up time and space for more work to be given to me.
Because you want it, or because it's just been given to you?
No, just because I'm more productive. So this is the ripple effect of me being more productive.
Would you ask for more work?
What would I look like?
No, that's what I'm trying to ascertain. This more work's coming because they're noticing that you're being productive. Oh, Esther's finished this already. Esther, here's something else to do.
Yeah.
But just the way my work is set up, it's like I have stuff to do, like there.
Okay.
So I manage like cases and stuff. So I've got like a caseload anyway. Because I'm more productive, that means I can be more like thorough with my caseload in comparison to before when I would have to go into the office every day. So when I go into the office every day, there's so much attention I can pay to each individual case. But now that I'm working from home, I have more attention to pay to each case, but then it's showing off in like the company statistics because as an organization, we're doing well because we're not missing things anymore. Do you get me? So all of that stuff is actually benefiting the workplace. And somehow only the leaders are getting bonuses and stuff.
But it's like Yusuf was saying, it's you deciding to do that. Because if you were to quiet quit now, the employer can't say why you're not working hard as before. Because we know we're paying you for 8 hours. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And also, what I was gonna say is, escaped my mind.
Because you know another thing. Sorry, another thing is that obviously when COVID hit, and we were all in lockdown, a lot of people. We had more free time, right? So really and truly, people just kind of worked more because what else are you going to do? It just happened, right? I mean, I used to work out twice a day. It was ridiculous. Do you get what I mean? So we just had more time to do things, right? So because of that now, companies are using that level of productivity as now the gauge for how you should be. Do you get me? So because you mentioned something about what was it you said about productivity and quiet quitting and stuff. You can't quiet quit anymore the way you could be able to back in the day because now that is seen as mediocre and that's seen as you're not doing things properly because obviously where I work anyway would have like yearly stats or not even yearly, like kind of like every 6 months quarterly kind of vibe where they do statistics or whatever, and obviously it's improved a lot and they are aware of obviously people are at home, COVID, blah blah. But now, if I was to quiet quit and work at the level I was before COVID, I'd probably get fired. Do you get what I mean? So I think companies, as much as it's a case of, it's you're doing more. It's saving us money, blah, blah, but I don't technically have to give. And they're right. As a business owner, you don't really have to. I mean, I would like people to do goodwill, but humans are how humans are. Technically, you're right. They don't have to give people bonuses, anything like that. But the standards in which people are being judged by now, employees are being judged by now, is that high standard that you've hit. Do you get what I mean? Because those stats now are now in the mix. So before that, we would say, for example, we were clearing, I don't know, let's just example 100 cases. When COVID happened, everyone was so productive. Now we're 200. If we now go back to 100,
it's a problem. Yeah.
Big problem. Do you get what I mean? So really and truly, people can't even quite quit the way you could back in the day because you probably get pulled up on it.
I think you're right, but I think still, like Yusuf was saying, it's still a decision made by the employees. You know what I'm saying? During that time to say, I'm going to work more because I've got more time in my hands.
Yeah.
That you can't now say the company has to adjust its figures because of a choice you made. And also, the thing I was going to say before is, remember you're talking about being rewarded. Typically, people are rewarded with bonuses, so you might get a bonus at the end of the year, whatever. But also promotion. So yes, you're working hard, this, that, and the third, but then you typically will be rewarded with you know what I'm saying? You're promoted to a better job, a better position, whatever, and more money. Yeah,
but a lot of places though, there's politics behind that. Too many people are literally working and killing themselves hard, and they don't ever see that. I just think that, do you know what it is? I just think as someone who would like to have a business one day and blah, blah, I know how important it is for people to feel appreciated at their job.
Yeah.
And I think if you're working people, literally working them, and the people who enjoy, who are productive working from home and who actually like the idea of working from home, and the people who want to go back into the office, I just think that you can, as a business owner, you can make things work so that your business gets the best benefit.
Yeah.
I think that if you're and that's the thing with these companies, they have no manners. They're actually announcing that they're getting more money. So you're announcing to people that, yes, we saved this amount of money and that's from you guys working from home. But then in the same breath, you're telling me my salary is not going to go up, even though you're saying that you understand there's a living cost crisis. That's just affecting morale in the workplace. And then how do you expect people to be as productive with all of that stuff going on? I don't know, man. I just think there's sensible ways around it.
The additional money the company's making, they may need it.
For what?
The company might be in debt. The company might owe money to different people. The company needs money to function.
Yeah.
So the extra money they're getting, they might be relieved. Like, oh my God, finally we're getting some extra money, and now we can do this, that, and the third.
And that's fair. And that's fair. But I think that is a fair argument. But some of them don't owe anybody money. They're just greedy. That's the
No, I hear you.
I mean, it's just greedy. But I think what gets me here, because I don't want to know that you're saving money.
Okay.
I'm fine going as I am. It's when you're telling me the hundreds of thousands you're saving, but that's not trickling down to me. But I know that it's trickling down to certain other people. I just think it's disrespectful.
I get what you say, because it's the same thing's happening with the train driving thing.
Yeah.
Like you're hearing about all the profits they're making and the new funding come from the government. And then all the train drivers and workers are just getting the same or less.
Same thing.
Yeah,
that's why I did that. It's insulting, quite honestly.
So maybe they should just keep their mouth closed.
Keep your mouth closed. Because I didn't even think about it. I didn't think of the profits you guys could possibly be making. I didn't think of any of that. Now you put it in my head, you're basically mocking me.
Do you know what it is? That also, another thing, this may not be a good point or whatever, but it's just another thing that I think sometimes, because we're not, let's say multi-millionaire business owners, we it's hard to kind of empathize with them, right? Because I see it as this. Say both of you in your professions now, you're, for example, you're a PT now, and then you start a business and you hire a building where you can train, let's just say 10 PTs. You send them out and you're doing really well, they're doing really well, and they're getting the same type of income you're making now. But because you're the business owner, you're making $1 million every year, for example. Like, should we expect you to now like give up your profits to help them more? Because I see it as your expenses have now changed. You want a bigger house. You want to do all the things you worked hard for in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Why should we expect these business people at the top to stop paying themselves these huge amounts?
I hear you, but just to piggyback off that specific example you gave, right? In that scenario, I would pay my employees more.
Okay.
If I was making way more money than they were making, and I wanted to keep them happy, I wanted to keep morale high.
That's the key.
And I knew that they could see that I was making more money in that profession, I would definitely pay them more.
More, okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's my thing. Is my for me is keeping morale up. I think as well, because you can't deny that people are working hard. Just encourage people financially by doing that. Do you get what I mean? Especially like living cost crisis aside, I don't care if we're in the best time of the economy. I just think to keep morale up and stuff like that is encouraging. Do you get what I mean? Just to be like, okay, you're doing a great job. Even if you can't every month do that, do you know what? Christmas time is coming. This is that. There you go. Do you get what I mean? Or every other few months, okay, here's dinner or buy treats to the office. Just little things like that honestly makes people feel valued. And I think that's the problem in this country that's why the country is miserable. When you see, I don't miss the morning commute. I mean, some of you are dirty on there anyway. You guys were not showering. But apart from the germ part of it, people look it was so depressing.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
People look so depressed to go to work.
Not that you expect people to be talking to each other, but just the whole
vibe.
The vibe is just so dead.
Yeah.
The best days would be like paydays. People look lighter. Do you get what I mean? And then direct debits and stuff come out and it's like back to feeling down. I just think it's just little things that just builds morale up. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if your employees are happy, that will have a positive effect on the business.
Definitely.
True indeed.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
But I can imagine that it's hard for business owners, and I can empathize with that. But seeing as I am working for someone else's business, that's not my problem to take on right now. But just as a reminder, guys, I know you're enjoying the content. You guys are going off in the comments. Do like this video, and if you're not subscribed, don't be a thief. Subscribe to the channel
and share it too.
Share it, yeah, exactly. Share it. So it's live, it's public. Share it on your social media platforms and all that great stuff. And
because it's gonna stay public from now on, so when it is you share it, it's not gonna get a dead link.
Oh, you got the comments on the screen as well?
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys heard what Brent said, but just to let you guys know, the live is gonna stay up from today. So if you share it, people can still watch the link whenever it is. So get to sharing, guys, and like the video, because I'm seeing the numbers in the live right now, and the likes is not.
So it's not.
It's not matching.
You have the live and you will have the actual episode later on.
So this is the episode.
Oh, this
now.
is it. This is replacing that. Okay.
Yeah. Thumbnail and all.
Yeah, I'm gonna change the thumbnail later on. But
all right, Brent is working hard. You guys show you. Listen, build morale.
No, if you keep doing that, I'm gonna get distracted. So.
Oh, you don't like compliments?
The compliments too.
Okay.
A 0.
You know, girls are like that fancy Brent. You know how to get him. Right, let's get into our next headline.
We like to give you news throughout the world, especially as regards to black people. So this headline takes us to Kenya. And Kenya's Supreme Court has ruled that William Ruto was properly elected president, dismissing several petitions seeking to annul the result of the 9th of August election. His rival, Raila Odinga, and others had alleged that there had been massive fraud. But in a scathing ruling, the judges said some of the petitioners actually falsified evidence. Mr. Ruto garnered a 50.5% of the vote in a closely fought contest against Mr. Odinga, who got 48.8%. The 55-year-old will be sworn in as the country's 5th president next week. Following the ruling, Mr. Ruto said he would extend the hand of friendship to his political opponents and praised the Judiciary and the Electoral Commission for upholding the will of the people. Despite being the current deputy president, Mr. Ruto was not backed by the outgoing president, Uhuru Kenyatta, who instead campaigned for his former rival, Mr. Odinga. Mr. Ruto said he will be speaking to both men shortly and promised that the government will actually look after them in retirement. He said, "We are not enemies, we are Kenyans. Let us unite to make Kenya a nation of which everyone shall be proud to call home."
All right, then.
Yeah, so they've sorted out the issue there. And the next headline takes us to China, where there was an earthquake in the province of Sichuan.
They're always going for it, man.
Yeah, unfortunately. Trigger warning, I believe. At least 21 people have been killed after a 6.6 magnitude earthquake hit the southwest of China. The quake struck at 1300 local time in Sichuan province at a depth of 10 kilometers, which is like 6 miles. The impact severed telecommunication lines and triggered mountain landslides, which caused serious damage. Some 21 million people in Sichuan's capital, Chengdu, were earlier ordered to stay home because of COVID rules. It's the same place we spoke about last week.
Yeah.
The epicenter of the quake was at Luding, which is a town in a remote mountain region located about 226 kilometers southwest of Chengdu. Tremors shook buildings in Chengdu and the neighboring megacity of Chongqing, leaving roads blocked and cutting telecommunication lines in areas home to more than 10,000 residents, according to broadcaster CCTV. The shocks also forced some power stations to shut down in the area. So yeah, unfortunately, that's happening. Hopefully, no one else dies and they can, try and rectify the issue as soon as possible.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah,
Well, right, let's get into Word on Road. From me, I know. The Brits are really rising up. So Jesy Nelson, who used to be part of, not me about to say Sugar Babes, Little Mix, that's it, Little Mix. So she basically came out as a solo artist. To build context about, her situation. So they did not win X Factor. I think they came second, but really and truly, X Factor, the second place is always, that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
You don't really want to come first. But yeah, so they came second. Obviously, Little Mix are literally a worldwide girl. Like, they're just amazing. But then she was the chubbiest one in the group.
Yeah.
So she used to get fat shamed a lot and all that. Yeah, she got fat shamed ridiculously, like a lot. So she went through a lot of. She didn't have the great time. Even when she was on X Factor, people were always making comments about her weight and all that kind of stuff, and it was very difficult for her to be honest. I know she did a whole documentary as well about mental health and all that kind of stuff. And anyway, she finally quit the band last year, I believe. Yeah, it was last year, or was it earlier this year? I can't remember. Last year, anyway. So she quit the band anyway and decided she wanted to pursue a solo career. There was kind of talks about them not getting on as a group, because really and truly, they were one of those groups where they were put together by the judges. So they didn't come as a group. They were individual people and they got put together as a group and blah, blah. So they're not really friends like that. But to be fair, they have been in the game for, I would say, definitely about 8 years, I would say. So there was kind of some kind of situation about them not really getting along, especially when she announced her departure. The girls didn't really say much about it, didn't really show love, and it was just a whole scandal and whatever. So anyway, she did release her first single, and it was with Nicki Minaj. It was October last year, and it was called Boys, and it sampled Diddy's Bad Boys.
Okay.
Diddy was in a video and everything, and she then faced backlash for that because she was blackfishing.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because she's a white girl. She looks mixed. She looks mixed race. She's not. She's white. And she just said, she likes a tan. She loves a tan, and her hair was like curly, mixed race looking. Her lips were like overlined with a lip liner. Anyway, so basically now, so she was signed to a record company called Polydor.
Yeah.
Polydor, yeah. So basically, she's left them.
Okay.
And she's now gonna release music with an independent label. So basically, we think what the news is that she's gonna be an independent artist. Okay. And there's also a possibility that she's going to start her own label. Okay. Which is interesting. But yeah, so she's trying to avoid all of that stuff. And then over the weekend, so she's working on her next single now, but there was a leak. And I really hope her camp leaked that to test the waters. Because if that's the case, it's great. Because they can go back to the drawing board and undo that crap, because
it was whack.
It was whack. It was so, I couldn't even get to the end. It was absolutely whack. What it gave me, the energy gave me, oh crap, I should have, to be fair, I did want to play the clip, but I just thought, just in case we get flagged, we don't need that. But I don't think anyone should want to copyright that, but just wilding. It was giving me, you know how Chloe Bailey is these days? Yeah. So Chloe from Chloe and Halle. You know the twins, the two girls that Beyonce's mentees. You've definitely seen, trust me, you've seen Chloe, because Chloe's doing a lot on Beyonce's internet. But so you know how Chloe is now, and her kind of sound where she like not oversings, but she oversings on a track and that kind of vibe. It was giving me that, but it was giving like a bootleg version. So I feel like if it was really, really produced, it could actually be a Chloe Bailey song. But it was a really, really bad version of it. So I'm really hoping that they take on the notes on board. People were like, this, take it back. And the person who leaked it did you a favor, because you get to see our reaction and go, this is not it kind of thing. Wow. So I am hoping that her next song will be good. Obviously she had Diddy co-sign her basically.
Yeah.
And he was in a video and all sorts, and she had Nicki Minaj as well. So those are really big people in the music industry.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that she doesn't let them down, and the next thing she does will actually be really good. Yeah, I'll see what happens. I will listen to whatever she brings out next. I did like the song Boys. People didn't really like it, and people were very critical of it. I didn't think the criticism was needed, personally. I didn't agree with it. I like the song. It is a tune. But yeah. And then my next bit is Indiyah. But just a reminder, guys, like this video, because the math is still not mathing on my end. So like the video. But yes, so Indiyah, so I reported last week that she's now the ambassador for Pretty Little Thing Marketplace Boutique, which is basically trying to encourage sustainable fashion. And I do want to say, I learned something over the weekend, by the way, at the Black Girls Living show, which is that sustainable fashion doesn't mean, I thought it meant like buying like a very expensive piece and you just wear it for the next 20 years. But actually, even wearing what you have now makes it sustainable, because obviously you're not buying as much clothes as you usually would. So it's saving the planet, yada, yada, yada. All great. So anyway, so she put a caption up yesterday. So her Marketplace Boutique is now live. And then she said, you can shop all the items I've uploaded to my shop. And this is why I wanted to report this, because I thought this was absolutely amazing and beautiful. She says, keep a close look on my boutique, as I'll be adding more every week, and all profits will be donated to Jamaica Basic Schools Foundation.
Dope.
I thought that is amazing. That is Black people making money and keeping it within the Black community and using to strengthen other people.
She said all profits.
It's amazing.
Wow, I love
And
that.
she said the foundation will assist basic schools by providing facilities for the education, development and recreation of their students, and the training and development of teachers. I'm very, very, very proud of her for this. I think that is absolutely amazing. So I will now be looking to buy something off that, just because I know as well that is going to the Jamaica Basic School Foundation. Next is also still on Black business, because my last two, the whites are wilding. But yeah, so still on Black business. So the British Vogue editor-in-chief, he basically said that he can't get a cab in this London because of his skin color. So his assistant has to get a taxi for him, then he gets in. So he said that he feels like, basically his race is playing racial profiling, basically, with that. Also, in 2020, a security guard at the Mayfair offices was sacked. So remember that he's the editor-in-chief, right, of Vogue. The security guard was sacked because he refused him entry into the Vogue house.
Can you imagine?
That's ridiculous.
Very mad. So so he told him that, he said that the guard told him to use the tradesman's entrance at the back of the building. I don't know why you have a job.
What's the man's name?
The editor, yes. Sorry, his name is Edward Enifel.
Yes, that's yeah.
Yeah, Edward Enifel. So imagine 2020, someone got sacked because they refused him entry into flipping Vogue, where he's the editor-in-chief.
Ridiculous.
So he came about, talked about the whole cab thing as well. And apparently as well, he last week he talked about spending 14 years in Alcoholics Anonymous, and he was estranged from his father for 15 years. So he's been in the news quite a bit. But on the topic of his what's it called? On the topic of his racial profiling, he says, my assistant still has to hail a taxi despite the position that I'm in. He said, I'm a Black man in the world. It wasn't the first time it happened, and it's not going to be the last time. And he says, when those incidents happened, it made me realize, do not forget who you are, do not forget where you're from, and do not think you're so amazing these things won't touch you.
Yeah.
And if that's not a word, I actually do not know what is. And he spoke about all of this when he was being interviewed by the beautiful and lovely, amazing Michaela Cole. And this was at the South Bank. Yeah, this is in South Bank in London. It's BFI South Bank in London, to promote his memoir. So he's got a book coming out today, actually. Tuesday, yeah. It's called Visible Man. So he's got sight issues. So he's had like 4 operations on it. So it's kind of the fear that he might go blind at some point. But I just was really sad. And I think him saying like, wherever you are, don't think you really and truly, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you'll never be one of them. Don't matter how valuable you are to them, to their businesses or whatever, when people look at you, you're still a Black man.
Facts.
The fact that he was told to use the back doors.
Can you imagine?
crazy.
It's disgusting, man.
So yeah, on the news are white people wilding, still staying British. So basically, Harry Styles is gonna be in an upcoming film, and the film is called Don't Worry, Darling, and in the film is also Chris Pine. He's a meme, but I can't remember what else I would know him from. But when you see him, you know who he is. So basically, Harry Styles' girlfriend is Olivia Wilde, and she's the director of the film, I believe. So basically, this film has had a lot of controversy. So last year, Shia LaBeouf was actually fired from... He left the project, but it was alleged that he was fired from the project. And apparently it's because him and the director didn't really see eye to eye, blah, blah. They had issues or whatever. But it turns out actually that they're cool, but someone else on the movie, another movie star, Florence Pugh, I think her name is, Florence Pugh, they were the ones who had... The director and her had issues, right? Cool. So anyways, so Chris Pine, they had the movie premiere for it in Italy the other day. And so basically, on the red carpet, Chris Pine, when they were talking about, I think they kind of brought up the whole beef scandals that's happening with the film. And so he said that he's actually really good and he got on really well with Florence Pugh. Florence Pugh is the one, by the way, who's beefing the director, right? Remember, Harry's girlfriend is the director. So then they now they're going, this is on the red carpet, he said that, so Harry interpreted that as he's siding with Florence, his co-star, and not with Harry's girlfriend, who is the director. Cool. So when Harry goes to sit down, there's a video footage of Harry sitting down, and so it's Olivia Wilde, director, Harry's girlfriend, Chris Pine, and then there's an empty seat where Harry's going to sit down. So when Harry goes to sit down, before he sits down, he kind of bends over a little bit, and in the video, it appears he spits at Chris.
What?
He spits at Chris Pine, and then he sits down. And so, because when you watch the video, you kind of have to watch it very carefully to see. He makes like a...
I'm just playing it for them.
What, the video?
Yeah, the people.
Okay, the actual video. Can they see it? Okay.
Yeah, they can see it whilst you're talking. So you can continue.
Okay, lovely. So, yeah, so he makes a mouth motion.
I'm watching it.
It looks as if he actually spat at him. And also another giveaway was that when Harry was sitting down, everyone was clapping, right? But when that happens, when Harry makes a mouth motion, Chris stops, looks down, and he's like, kind of laughs. And it's like, okay. But then there is a longer video that it shows Harry sit down, have a straight face. Harry Styles, by the way, I'm talking about.
I think he spat.
Yeah.
He spat. It looks like he spat.
And his collar is pissing me off as well, man.
Yeah. He's very what's the word? How do I say? His fashion is different.
No, the collar is not meant to be out. That's why. It's meant to be tucked into the blazer, but it's hanging out.
No, but is it?
Yeah, one collar's in, one collar's out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so the longer video does show them kind of interact, like talk, but then again, he might be just doing that because he knows cameras on him. I feel like that man spat.
But I don't feel like he spat. I think it was just an out of body moment. I don't think he deliberately spat on him. I think he just, I don't know, maybe something in his mouth.
No, but you know what you say? Because
a little bit of fluff, and he just.
Yeah, but I don't think his direction is weird because also he didn't need to bend over the way he did to sit down. Just sit down.
Maybe do this poll, yeah?
Yeah, do a poll, please.
Hold on.
Looking like Willy Wonka. He didn't need to sit down like that. He could have just walked in and sat down. But he bent over, did a little mouth motion, and then sat. And then also, I think it's Chris looking down, like, because he was clapping and he was like, what the hell?
And he paused.
Yeah, he paused.
It was like.
Yes, I think that's also a giveaway.
No, I think he spat. But I don't think he deliberately spat. I think he just had a moment, man.
It's a moment.
Yeah, he just had a moment.
There was someone who tweeted, who was also at the event. So he said, it's Ramin Setode, his name is. But he says anyway, coming from the Don't Worry Darling premiere tonight, this is all I can say. There are no trash cans in the Sala Grande, not in the lobby or in the mezzanine where these seats are located. So hypothetically, if you were chewing a piece of gum, there'd be no place to put it. So he said, maybe he just kind of wanted to get rid of his chewing gum and that's what happened. But neither Harris nor Chris have said anything. But yeah, I think that man spat, in my humble opinion.
Right.
But he's got good, what's it called? He's got good self-control. I would have slapped that chewing gum back in your mouth. Because that's ridiculous. You can't be spitting
He
people.
didn't spit chewing gum out of his mouth, did he?
We don't know what he did. We don't know what he spat.
You could do a zoom in or something. I didn't see no
Make it clear.
chewing come out of his mouth.
But yeah, and then my last bit as well, still on the white British people. So you know this morning show that's hosted with Philip Schofield and Holly Willoughby.
Yeah.
They basically had a show yesterday where they had a turning game prize, a wheel turning prize, and have a listener call in, and the two prizes. First prize was one of the prizes was £1,000. The second prize was your energy bill being paid off for 4 months.
Yeah, I saw that clip online actually.
Yeah. Thankfully, the guy on the phone the clip I saw, he won his energy bill being paid off. But basically, they're basically facing criticism because people are saying that that's rude. Like this is a real thing that people are going through in life, and essentially it's being trivialized and using as a game show. Some of y'all don't know good things, because personally, I would have been praying that it lands on energy bills.
Right.
And I would tell them, do you mind if we just do it in winter, please? Not now. Let's start in winter when the prices go up. But yeah, they basically faced a lot of backlash over, and just people just thought it was very insensitive and dystopian.
A bit tasteless.
Yeah. So some of the people, I'm just gonna read some of the tweets that people said. They said, "It's so sad that if you win spin to win, they'll pay your energy bills. It used to be win a holiday. The absolute state of things is horrifying." And then they said the state of this country is when this morning has put paying 4 months of energy bills as a spin wheel the prize. Well, I found this spin to win fairly depressing, to be fair. And then something really patronizing about Phil and Holly talking to this guy about his energy bills, because they were talking to him. They were like, "Oh, like, what would you rather win?" And he was like, "Mate, energy bills." And like, "Yeah, it's pretty difficult, isn't it?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's really hard right now, blah blah." So, and obviously, when you see these people, you assume that they're rich. So it's like, okay. Are you feeling the impacts of these things? And you're talking to someone who is. And then someone said, "State of this country when you can win your energy bills being paid off on this morning." I think that's actually wad, you know. That's actually, because usually it would be like holidays and trips and hotel and spa and stuff like that. Damn.
But that's more so, I guess, the state of the country, not necessarily a criticism of the...
I think people are criticizing both. So they're criticizing the state of the country, that this is how bad the country is, that now game shows have to put this as an option of a prize. But also they like to ITV that it's a bit insensitive because this is very real for people. That it's almost like you're... Because obviously it's in a game thing, right? It's a game show. So it's like you're kind of trivializing how
serious it is.
This matter is.
But is it though? I don't see it as...
I think it is, because you didn't have to frame it that way. You could have just given different tiers of money away. You don't have to say, this is for energy bills. Yeah. Like, if you want to give away money, give away money.
And they'd like you to use that money on bills.
Yeah, you're framing it. Yeah. You don't have to frame it that way.
Because you could win between £1,000 and £3,000. Yeah. Just increase it. Yeah, you don't have my energy bill is going to be probably 5K, then increase it. And then, because chances are, like you said, people are going to use the money for their bills
you don't
anyway.
Have to specify that this is for energy bills, which is obviously making it very real that we are in a crisis.
Yeah.
It's just...
So I do think it's a bit...
minute kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit kind of tone deaf, but I would have been very happy to win the energy bill. I'd have fumed if I won £1,000. Are you kidding? What's that going to do? What is that going to do? They might even cover my direct debits. But yeah, guys, that is all from me today. So let's get into the People's Journal.
People's Journal, I'll give you the news from an economics point of view. All right, so the first thing is about Liz Truss and people expecting her to freeze energy bills. She's not said that at all, but for some reason people are expecting her to. It's all over the media and whatnot. But basically, in her victory speech, she said she will deliver on the energy crisis. Yeah. I don't really see how that means she's gonna freeze bills. But anyway,
you should freeze anyway. We're gonna suffer for it in a year's time.
Yeah.
So I don't think she should freeze anything.
Yeah, exactly. We're all gonna have to pay for it anyway, in some roundabout way. Yeah. But basically, what they're saying is, I guess, they understand that it's one of her options anyway. That's just kind of, you know what I mean, like choosing between. So basically she said, I'll deliver an energy crisis, dealing with people's energy bills, but also dealing with the long-term issues we have on energy supply. I remember yesterday, I was talking about Nord 1, which is the pipeline in Russia, which they've closed indefinitely. So not just obviously the bills that we're paying now, but also I guess where we're going to be getting our supply from in the future, which obviously is going to affect how much we're paying. But obviously, like we said earlier today, The Labour leader, Keir Starmer, has come out and started talking again. So he's like, there can be no justification for not freezing energy prices. There's a political consensus that needs to happen. She needs to ask the question how she's going to pay for that. Labour made it clear. It needs to be a windfall tax on oil and gas companies. Okay. So yeah, that's his point. That's his point of view in it. But like I said, Ms. Truss is basically looking at different options, and maybe she may go with the windfall tax option. There was, I think they opted for that before, even like when Sunak was the Chancellor. He eventually kind of agreed that that's probably the best way to get the money. But obviously, like we have been speaking about, Liz Truss wants to lower tax.
Yeah.
So it may look a bit somehow if she then goes to say, you know, we're going to tax you a bit more because, you know, the windfall situation. But I guess we will know in coming days because, again, also, like I said yesterday, she did promise to kind of deal with it within the week of becoming PM. The next thing to talk about is basically, have you heard of something called a bank hub? Have you seen any bank hubs?
Bank hubs? No.
Yeah, neither had I. But basically, they're starting to pop up, and basically they're organised or set up by the post office, right? And what it is you've got different banks in that one hub.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what they're trying to say is, over the last, I don't know, 5 or so years, like loads of banks have been closing, like at crazy rates, right?
Yeah.
And which means people primarily wouldn't be able to get loads of cash because the banks are closing and also ATMs are closing because obviously a lot of the ATMs are associated with the bank, innit?
Yeah.
So they're saying that's crazy. Even though, yeah, we live in a digital time, we still need cash. There's many people who need cash.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, these hubs, like I said, which are run by the post office, are basically being put up in certain places. And 13 new hubs are being placed all around the country at the moment to allow customers of any bank to access their accounts. You can deposit your cash, your checks, you can withdraw money, all them type of things. All of the more complicated things, they've got like one representative from each bank in that hub. Okay. So yeah, so you need to speak to them about something more complicated than that. Then they will help you deal with that. So yeah, it may be a new way of banking.
Sounds like the future.
Yeah. Have you noticed as well on your banking apps? Yeah, you can access accounts like different banks. So say
Really?
you got say you got NatWest.
Yeah.
It allows you to add your Halifax
Oh, is
accounts to the NatWest.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
no.
I've never done it. I don't want to mix it up.
Yeah,
but
I'm they be my business. Mind
you
your
know what I'm
business.
saying? But yeah, like I said, it may be the new way of banking.
Sounds like it.
And the last thing is, this is the first time I've heard this company. I'm not sure. Maybe you guys have heard it.
Yeah.
It's basically a British smartphone maker by the name of Bullitt. Bullitt. And basically, they're trying to rival Apple and Tesla. And what they're trying to do is basically launch this whole new satellite connected handset. So obviously, you know, sometimes we get issues with Wi-Fi or mobile networks and stuff. This will automatically allow you to connect to a global satellite network. So you won't be without reception or connection.
Yeah.
And basically, Apple has been looking into it, Tesla's been looking into it. But this British company has beat them to it. And they're looking to launch this in February of next year. So basically, initially, you only enable us, the users, to send and receive texts only. But yeah, I guess with due time, you'll be able to do all types of stuff that you can do on your normal smartphones and stuff like that, innit? So yeah, man, it looks like, yeah, there's more competition, which I always say typically is a good thing. Bring prices down. And yeah.
Apple have their annual conference, isn't it? Is it annual whenever they'd have it? They're about to announce a new iPhone, I reckon.
Yeah, every September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon they're going to announce a new iPhone, so you probably covering that tomorrow. Don't be a hater.
Do you guys upgrade like every year? Your Apple?
No.
Or every 2 years? Or whenever your contract is up?
Well, my phone's on the last legs.
Yeah, I think I normally do it whenever my contract ends. But right now, I'm on a SIM plan. I just buy the phone now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been on a SIM plan as well for a few years now.
I think that's cheaper, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
It's way cheaper. My phone's like £15.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, mine's like 20.
Yeah.
Less than 20.
So yeah, I think for me that's better. When this phone starts acting like a fool, and I can no longer use it, then I will upgrade. Because do you know what it's about getting a new phone as well? Like the thought of like starting up a new phone, yeah.
But it's easy nowadays, man. Especially with Apple, you just.
But I'm lazy. But the thing I also don't want all my pictures. So actually, if anyone is out there able to help me, So basically, when I got this phone, I wanted to start fresh with the pictures. I woke up one day, I don't know what I clicked. All the pictures from all my iPhones was on this phone. I was like, are you kidding me? So I don't know, and I have it on the cloud.
You must have everything on the cloud, and you must have downloaded everything from the cloud onto your device.
But how do I undownload it?
You might have to delete everything, innit?
Damn.
Oh no, just reset the phone.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, if you factory reset the phone, it wipes the entire phone.
Okay, but then
everything, and it goes back to if the phone was brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do. Does it my contacts and stuff though?
Everything goes. So when you switch the phone
Yusuf,
on,
no.
yeah.
I need my contacts there.
Oh, you just want to eliminate pictures?
Just pictures and videos.
You just highlight them all and just delete
It's
them.
long. Do you know how long it is? How many pictures? Let me see how many pictures I have.
No, but I swear, if you go like this,
Yeah.
go like that, you can see a lot of them at once, isn't it?
Yeah, but
highlight all of them.
Yeah, but there's some I want to keep.
You got to go through it.
And that's what's annoying. Because you know, like with girls, so when we go out, when we go out, we take like 20 pictures just to end up with one. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But what's annoying is that I need to be going back as soon as I post the one or the one I know the one I want. Go back and delete the 19.
Yeah.
I leave it because the other day I was trying to find something, and I said, "I know you're lying. Look at these pictures." I'm gonna have to do it manually, to be fair, because it's like over 7,000.
Yeah, you're going to go through that one by one, unfortunately.
It's 8,271.
I've been wanting to do that as well, you know. But I've always said to myself, I think the best place to do that is when you're on the plane. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And you've got those hours of free time.
Yeah, that's true actually. That's true actually. That's the point. But yeah, all right. Let's get into asking for a friend. They've been liking the videos. The stats could be better. So get to liking, please. Thank you. And also subscribe to the channel. But yeah, so asking for a friend. Good morning, guys. Absolutely love the show. I live in Kenya. Ooh. I live in Kenya and I'm planning on visiting London next year. I'd love to be able to come on as a guest when I'm down. I'm not even important at anything. It would just be really great to meet the people from London I listen to every morning. Hopefully we have like an event as well. You can come to that. But yeah, anyway, I've got a short dilemma. My friend is convinced that women wake up every single morning to reclaim as much from men as they can before moving on to the next one. I've told him that it's the type of women that his flashy living attracts. He's quite a wealthy man and interacts with women solely on a transactional basis. What's your friend's number? There is this one woman that he likes and keeps on rebuffing all his advances, no matter what he throws her way. And he seems to think she is just holding out for a grander gesture in order to bite. This woman is actually great for him and he's going to miss out on her because his mind, when it comes to women, is so fixed. What do you think? Is he wrong? Should I continue trying to change his mind? Love from Kenya. So he likes a woman. I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, I think the woman who he's rebuffing.
What does rebuffing mean?
I think he's just pushing away. He's just trying to get rid of her.
Okay.
Is it because he thinks that she's after his money too?
Might be.
Right?
Okay, let me read that part again because I really don't get it. So it said this. Okay, there is this one woman that he likes and keeps on rebuffing all his advances. Maybe she's rebuffing his advances.
She's rebuffing his advances. Sorry, yeah.
No matter what he throws her way, and he seems to think she's just holding out for a grander gesture in order to bite. This woman is actually great for him, and he's going to miss out on her because his mind, when it comes to women, is so fixed. So
yeah, but that's not his fault. That's not his fault then.
No, but so does that mean that he's offering her things, she's saying no?
And he thinks it's because, or the friend thinks it's because she's waiting for something bigger.
But then it might just be she likes him.
No, but she's not accepting nothing.
Yeah, but remember, she's rebuffing him for whatever reason, right?
Yeah.
And this is a confusing dilemma.
It sounds as though this woman that this guy is throwing money at, she doesn't respond to money being thrown at her.
Yeah.
So if he thinks she's holding out for a bigger gesture, he still thinks that she's the same type of woman as in what I think that all women, respond to transactions.
Yeah, I don't feel like she's holding out for a bigger gesture because most people will just take what's ever given to them.
And you build it up.
Yeah, they're going to say, no, I'm waiting for this. They'll say yes, and yes to the big thing.
Yes. Listen, the girls are saying another one, thank you.
Yeah. So I don't feel like she's rebuffing.
Yeah, I think she actually likes him.
I feel like maybe she's not into the materialistic stuff.
Maybe she's not into material. Maybe she don't like the guy, first of all, because
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
Is that the most obvious option?
There's some guys that I don't like you enough or anything.
Yeah.
Don't even a Chanel bag. I could not, if I don't like you, just so there's no confusion here and you're out here now being a bugaboo and you're lingering, I don't even want it. I don't want to sell you any kind of dream. So that's the most obvious one. She might not like him, but also she might not be someone who is interested in that side of things. So his question was, what do you think? Is he wrong? I don't think he's necessarily wrong in having that mindset if that's the women he's always dealt with. And like you've told your friend, because his friend said to him that, you know, you flash your material stuff, so women want to take your material stuff. And if he's got a transactional mindset of relationships, I don't necessarily think it's wrong. I think if that's what works for him, that's cool. If it is a thing where he wants something deeper, then he's going to have to work on his mindset. Should you continue trying to change his mind? I'll be honest, no. I think we need to get to a place where if someone is the way they are, unless it directly harms you or they come and complain about the way they are, not wanting to be that way anymore, I think just let people be who they are. If this is how he functions in relationships, he clearly sees relationships differently to how you see relationships. I don't think you should project your views of what relationships are on him. If he asks for advice and he's like, you know what, I want to meet a girl and be deeper and have a deeper connection, blah, blah, then you can definitely say, you know, then maybe the way you interact with women should be different. Don't lead with your material stuff. Lead with you as a person. I would say, yeah. But other than that, is your friend come to London with you?
I think this woman is, you know, she's framing it like the woman is interested in him because this woman is actually great for him.
Yeah.
And he's going to miss out on her. So that suggests that maybe there's a mutual
interest,
thing there.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then yeah, just, you know, she's giving you several hints that she doesn't want
material stuff,
your material advances. So just maybe come at her from a different angle.
Yep.
Maybe she's saying that she's great for him because she doesn't look to place value in the money that he's flinging at her.
Okay.
And her mindset is like, nah, I'm not one of them girls.
But that doesn't mean anything. You still want to date and find out.
I think I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say she doesn't like you at all.
Yeah, I don't think she likes you, man.
To be honest with you, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, yeah, I don't think this girl's interested in you, bro.
Because I think even as someone who is, even if you like a guy, unless obviously he's like kind of being, he's looking down at you with his money, you still appreciate the gifts. Nice flowers, you appreciate these things. Not outright reject. I think if he uses that to talk to you, that's different. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But
maybe it depends on his
maybe
approach and how he's flaunting or giving her these things.
because I'll be honest with you, African men, they love to, when they're gonna impress you with money, that's all. That's their personality. That's their character. That's who they are. So it can be a bit like, okay, relax. Like, this is not what I'm here for. It can almost be a bit insulting. Do you get what I mean? If you're not that way inclined as a woman, maybe he just don't like you.
So
I don't think she likes
separate question, Esther, as a woman, if you met a guy, liked a guy, and he was just compliant with everything financial, he was just giving you, and he was sweet, he was all that kind of stuff. And then you found out that he was only giving you all this stuff because he thought that's the best way to keep you sweet. And you gave him whatever it is that was attached to you loving him. But in his head, it was all a case of
because he was giving me financial stuff.
What would that matter to you?
It would. It definitely would, because that means that we've been in two different situations. But that kind of situation, I would talk about it and let him know that I'm not with you because of the things that you have. If I really, really like this person, I would definitely let you know that I'm not with you because of the presents and all that kind of stuff. So don't feel that you have to impress me with those things. I think it's just kind of talking about. I think if someone is used to receiving love because they give, I can understand why he would make that assumption. So I think it's just for me to let him know that no, this is how I love, blah, blah. And then if I like you enough, I will stay for that change to be implemented in our situation. But if there's no change from that, where he's like, he doesn't believe, I guess if he doesn't trust that I'm being genuine, then I will pack my bag and go and move all my presents. Be damned if you think I'm giving it back. Yeah.
Right, cool.
But I do think with African men, they tend to do the thing of trying to impress women. And even him saying, you know, his friend thinks that women kind of wake up every day to see what they can squeeze out of men. sadly, that is true of some women back home, where like I always see on Nigerian Twitter, the guys are always joking about how. So imagine you ask a girl on a date, she comes with her friends. That is apparently a normal.
Where back home that's normal.
Yes, it's not normal. It's not. The guys are like, this is foolishness, but the girls don't seem to see the problem. And one of my friends posted something
It's
yesterday.
because they want their friends to enjoy as well.
Yeah, I guess so, but I don't understand the thought process behind that. But I guess it's just a thing where like if a guy's got money back home, the idea is that I'm not the one who like it's like a show off thing of like my man can get us drinks, my man can do this kind of thing. So I guess if your friend's like, oh, let me come, like it doesn't make sometimes the way they think back home doesn't make sense to me.
Sense.
But apparently the girls be doing that, but the guys are like, this is foolishness because I'm not paying for her food. So even that, and then the girls then judge the guys like, oh, he couldn't even pay for her food.
No,
It's like,
why is she
I didn't
here?
invite you.
Why is she here? It's not about why is she here?
Why is she here? Well, some of the girls are not calling guys back because they didn't pay for the uninvited friend's food. Or if it's just them, they'll be like, oh, they order takeaway for their friend. Y'all are hungry. I don't know, man. It's different.
Emman, how far does your grace go when it is that you move to a woman in a club and she has 4 friends in the mix? Do you buy them all a drink?
No, I ain't got time for that. Why?
Wait, say that again? I missed that. Sound like something important.
Man said that.
I just heard you won't buy drinks. I say, who you not buying
He's
drinks?
basically saying, say I'm moving to someone in the club, and she's there with 4 of her friends.
Yeah.
Like, would I then attempt to buy her friends drinks as well?
No. Talk to her, no. Because anyway, at that stage, I don't know the guy in it. I don't want my friend thinking, oh, he's got money. Let me try and get in there. This is for me. I think, no.
It's more sort of self-preservation.
But I do think I wouldn't be offended if he didn't buy my friends drinks. But say, for example, I'd placed an order, but it's for me and my friend.
Yeah.
But he comes and is like, oh, I'll just pay for yours. That's dead. Because I placed an order for 2 and I was going to pay for me and my friend.
Yeah, that's
Do you know what I mean?
that's different, yeah.
But if it's like I was just getting my own drink, then why are you getting my entire squad drinks? But at the same time, I think it is a nice gesture to get the hotel. But I do think it's kind of dynamics of that. Like one time I went out with my girls, went to like this wine bar, and there was these men from South Africa. South African men, ladies, they are generous. Just put that out there. But like they wanted to come and talk to us. And when they came, they were like, oh, what are you ladies drinking? And they ordered us like a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
And that was just the one guy that was coming over to talk to me. But obviously, I was with my friends. Like I was with my friends. So he ordered all of us a drink.
Yeah.
And then when his other boys were going to come over as well, 2 of them as well were like, oh, what are you guys drinking? Okay. And they ordered more of the... I said, this...
Yeah, because some men are just like that.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just happy to just share free with the drinks. That's just their whole culture, innit?
Yeah. But I think in that kind of situation, if he had bought just me a drink, it would have been weird.
Yeah.
Because I literally was on a table with my girls.
Yeah.
Can't just come with one singular glass. So I guess he got a bottle, so that way we can all...
Does a man need to use a drink to move to you? So if a guy moves to you and drinks don't even come up in conversation, is that fine?
It's like, my track record, niggas will move to me for less. No, that's fine.
Yeah, drinks. I don't think drinks don't need to be a part of the equation.
I don't think so. I don't think if a guy was talking to me, I don't think you have to buy me something to earn this conversation. I will talk to you if I want to talk to you. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it has to be. But there are some women as well who think you can't talk to me like and my throat is just here dry.
That's not the type of woman I want to talk to be honest with you.
Yeah.
If I'm coming to talk to you because I'm genuinely have interest in you, you're thinking, why hasn't the nigga bought me a drink?
My throat is dry.
I'm like, have a good evening. I'm out.
For the best.
Someone in the comments said, yo, if I'm buying them drinks, basically, I better be smashing all of them.
It's not someone in the comments. It's Moses. That reckless guy.
Where is the comment? Y'all are
Universal.
nasty.
But is that the same type of thing that, what's his face said? Kojo.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah.
No, not, he didn't say that, but he said something similar.
Along
About,
those lines.
if I'm taking you on a date or something like that, then
Yeah.
I don't want to put words in his mouth. It's something like I expect sex or something like that.
Nah, man, that's dead. You ain't getting nothing from me.
It's basically he's trying to say that men and women respond to different things.
Yeah.
And so women may like, the whole date thing because they're more material.
Yeah.
And so obviously when we go on a date, you expect some material things, especially like as the relationship progresses or whatever. But especially on that date, you expect nice things on that date. I'm paying for
Sex
the
is
food.
not a nice thing to expect.
Why not? He's saying for men, that's what we want, isn't it?
I think
For women,
I think you should be. If I go on a date with a guy here and you think I'm gonna need you to speak because if I go on a
you
date,
might have to take a few steps back.
if I go on a date with a guy and you think because you pay for the date, you're then going to get a kiss, anything physical.
yeah,
What's your monzo, please? I will send you the money.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't think sex should be because like dates and stuff should be transactional in that way. But there are people who don't mind that. I just think you need to know your audience. But I've never been on dates with guys that thought this was gonna be what it was, and I said, "You don't know me, do you? You're in for a surprise."
By the way, I was just articulating.
Amber
Coach's-
would like to hear you out. Amber would like to hear you out.
Who, me?
She said expound.
No, basically, I'm just articulating what Koji was saying. Yeah, that's what it was.
But
Is it okay
just say that you don't agree.
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah, exactly. I don't agree.
Okay.
What
Should
culture
not
is
be
this?
transactional at all.
What
at
culture
all.
is this?
The comedian.
Comedian.
You know what I thought you were talking about?
Who?
What, funds.
No.
No, he's talking about Sid.
Yeah, I thought you were talking. I was thinking.
Oh,
when you said, I
no,
was
no,
thinking he said that.
no.
Oh yes, yeah, that's what that silly man
Yeah.
said.
And then they cooked him, innit?
Of course, he didn't say to
Yeah.
be cooked. Because okay, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm gonna be. I hate to take it there, but I'm gonna have to do it. Sometimes when guys say stuff like that, yeah, trigger warning. It sounds a bit rapey.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because there's some guys who. Okay, so some guys, yeah, like they can go on a date and in their mind they might expect sex. That's fine. If you're feeling whatever way you're feeling, you're attracted to her. That's fair enough. That's cool. Whatever. But unfortunately, there's some guys who, no. One side, the guys who are expecting it, it doesn't happen. It's like, all right, cool, whatever. It is what it is, yeah. But on the other hand, there's some guys who are expecting it, and they voice that, and it just has this very. It takes a very left, weird, awkward. This is extremely uncomfortable energy. And that is low-key rapey. To expect that because you bought a woman dinner, she automatically has to have sex with you when it's not even a conversation you've had before. Or do you get what I mean? Like, what gave you that idea? Like, and guys are the ones that can't have friends. They can't have female friends because in their minds, like, this is what women are just for. But
it's giving Andrew Tate.
Mate, it's giving all the misogynists. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I don't think you should be going on dates expecting that. But I don't even kiss on first dates.
You know what, Brent? Where did you see Amber's comment say that, or did you just make up?
No, she did. She said, I want to hear him out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I want to hear him out.
Okay, yeah, I can see actually. But afterwards, she said, "I kind of get the point a tiny bit. It's just poorly articulated."
We don't know what she was talking about. Let's not put words in Amber's mouth.
All right.
But yeah, man.
Which point do you think she gets, man?
There's a.
Basically about how some men, even look, someone just said, "Look,
Yeah,
why
I
else do you
don't-
think we talk to you?" Lot?
Yeah, but he's.
Imagine.
Hey, Kevin
He's-
Thompson
he's a
is
problematic person.
Yeah, he's notorious.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Notorious.
Notorious in the wider world or notorious
No, his
within
second name used to be different before.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
He's a terrorist. Yeah.
Someone said, Esther, men
It
are
used to be
hunter
Samuels, by
gatherers.
the way. That's what I meant. It used to be Samuels.
Oh,
Yeah. So he changed it when it is that he passed.
Oh,
Yeah.
When he's in the past.
mentioned
Someone said, Esther, men are hunter gatherers. Just saying. I'll be honest with you, yeah. I understand that. I understand people think differently. I get that. I get that there's some men who expect physical stuff. I get that there's some men who want to be physical early. Like, I get that it doesn't mean some things to some people. I get that. But cut a long story short, those are not the kind of men that I go for.
Yeah.
That's it. So when I speak on things that I do and it works for me. Because I know the kind of man I'm attracted to. I know the kind of guys I talk to, and it works well for the standards that I have. We're equally yoked on that ground. So whether they're hunting gatherers or whatever it is, like I would cut when you meet a guy, blah blah. If a guy, it puts me off if a guy's like, oh, you're very sexy, or starts making those kind of, it puts me off.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, remember that even the other day, when we were outside and that guy was trying to talk to me.
Oh yes.
Like 7:30 in the
That's like
morning.
here.
Yeah. 7:30 in the morning. But remember I said to you how, so basically he had seen me in the car, but and I don't know whether he's some, I don't know what the situation was.
Black
But
guy?
then, yeah.
around here. Okay.
But then when I came out of the car, whatever, not gonna be funny, my outfit was outfitting that day. I had a gym, I was going to the gym, the body was set good. then he saw me, then he was like, oh, they wanted to talk to me. But because you when you saw me earlier, you didn't stop your car. There was no one behind you. There was no one ahead of you. The road was quiet. You could have stopped your car to be like, oh, hi, can I say something to you? You didn't. But now that you see me in all my glory, you seem bummed now. You want to talk to me. Hello, please, let's be going. So do you get me? So stuff like that for me personally puts me off. But I understand that not everyone is like me, and I don't expect everyone to think like me. Otherwise, we'll all be single. But it works for me. It works for me. It really does. But yeah, some people don't mind transactions and the gifts and stuff like that. But yeah,
I guess it's each to own. I remember
it really is.
Someone talking about this before, and bare women was talking about this is a while ago. I think it was on Facebook or something, and people were talking about the whole sex on the first date type thing.
Yeah,
and bare women were like, "Listen, that's a myth." And they were giving themselves as examples of how they slept with the guy because of the chemistry and how great the date was.
Yeah.
And they're in a relationship together. They got kids. They're happy 5-10 years down the line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So everyone's different.
Yeah, that's why I always say that it's an individual thing. Yeah. I could have sex with someone on the first date. We could not get a call back fair. I could also have sex with someone on the first date and we could be married for 8 years.
Exactly.
It's just the person.
Does it matter how much time you spent talking before the first date? So let's just say you met a guy.
Yeah.
And you spoke to him on the phone, text him for like a month and a half, like intensely. And it was every single day. So you built up a great rapport. Yeah. Went on the first date, then you had sex. Yeah. Versus you meet a guy on Saturday, you go on a date with him maybe the following Saturday and have sex with him.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a difference.
And in that week, there was, the competition was very light.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a difference.
There's a difference, right?
Yeah, because I think when you get to know someone, the first scenario, I kind of know him. Do you know what I mean? We may not have met up or whatever, but I've spoken to you, I've connected with you. Like I know way more about you than I did. I think even if the week was intense as well, it's about how you feel and know a person. Do you know what I mean?
A week could be intense. A week of convo could be intense as well. It could be every single day. It could be all throughout the day. Yeah. But I feel like sex on the first date is more so judged on what's been transpiring before the date. Yeah. I mean, that's how it's judged.
Yeah, I think so. And I think also as well, like kind of connection. Because sometimes you talk to people and you're really good on the phone and text and everything. When you meet them, is this the right person? Yeah. Do you give your friend your phone to be talking to me? Do you get me? So I think also that also...
I've had it before.
Yeah, and I'm just like...
the person I'll just...
This ain't it. This ain't it, y'all. Do you get me? So I think even the connection in person as well. Because really, I could even meet someone on Friday. We go out the next Friday or whatever. But then we may not have talked so much in person. Yeah. But when we get on the date, like the connection, everything is just all makes sense. Yeah. Could have sex with him. Do you get what I mean? So I really think I think the individual, that's what it always comes down to. Yeah. So with this dilemma, to go back to it, either the girl don't like him or she's not a woman who is impressed by material things and then he's going to have to adapt to that.
Also, what's the profile of this man as well? Is he like an uncle or...
In my mind, he's given like a...
I mean, is he a young buck? Is he
I don't think he's super young because he's very wealthy apparently, or wealthy. Yeah. I'm thinking he's given like in his 30s.
I was getting like an older kind of guy, like 30, 40. That's what I was getting for some reason.
Could be that.
I was imagining someone a bit older.
Well, at what age?
Maybe someone like in their early 40s.
Okay. I'm thinking from 35. Okay. Good looking guy, black skin. Yeah.
In this day and age, in this economy, and the way the culture is, it's very hard to picture a woman just turning down
presents. Honestly.
From a man she's interested in.
And that's why I don't think she's interested. Because I would turn down something I've always wanted from a guy who I'm not because I don't want to give you any kind of opening. I don't want you to think this could possibly be a thing.
Or the satisfaction to know that you gave this to me or that anything can happen after this.
Because this person I've collected means you're going to come back tomorrow and try and talk to me. Yeah. And I would like to stop that right now. But yes, Chijoke, I was double cheeked up on her Tuesday afternoon.
Was that a double cheeked up?
But yeah, man. Any more comments we can read? Okay, so if a guy is speaking with a girl for the sole purpose of trying to smash, isn't looking for a relationship, I don't get it. That's why you guys use punctuation. You don't listen to me. So it's understandable that girls play the long game pause to suss those kind of guys out. Yeah, because that's the thing. There are a lot of guys who it is that kind of vibe of, okay, They're just trying to get numbers, and so you got to speak to them. Me, I like a decent enough time talking stage.
How soon do you normally ask the man his intentions, or do you just let it play out, and then you figure out for yourself once it's clear?
So I don't directly ask, but in the conversations we have,
you can ascertain.
I can ascertain what it's going to be. But so obviously sometimes as well, you have to, as much as I do that, I also would get that conversation of, okay, let's make it clear. So I think it also always depends on where I'm at in life. So if I'm in a place of not wanting to date, whether you want long-term, that's my business.
Yeah,
I'm here for just for vibes.
So it depends. If you know exactly what you want regardless, then you'll just let it be known straight away.
Yes, I think from the certain conversations, you can kind of tell early where, because we'll have conversations about like, oh, are you single? Like, I always ask, are you single?
Yeah,
you have to. I ask, are you single?
You know what's crazy?
Are you married?
You know, I think you would assume that if a man approaches you, he is single.
Ladies, do not.
The fact that you have to ask that question. It's like I was watching Raising Kenny yesterday, and Kenny was at a party, and him and this girl started lip-syncing for time. after they finished lip-syncing, have you got a girlfriend? I figured.
You think, duh, of course you don't. No.
It's like that question should come before the kiss, no?
Yep. Or you would just assume that because the person's kissing you,
we're lips up in it, so it would be an assumption that I don't have a girlfriend.
Ladies, listen to me. If you don't want your wig snatched off your head in the dancery, me, I always ask, do you have a girlfriend? There's 3 questions I ask. Do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a wife? Is there any woman out there who thinks
that just shows how much men are in the mud that you have to ask a man? Forget girlfriend for a second. Do you have a wife? The fact that you have to ask a man who's approaching you, does he have a wife, means that there's
do you know what's trust. Mad? That's you just saying that made me realize I need to add another question to it. Do you have a fiance? Because you know guys love a technicality. Yeah. Technically, she's not my girlfriend anymore, and technically, she's not really my wife.
Women do not trust men at all. You have to ask a man who's approaching you, do you have a fiance or wife?
I'll be honest, I do. And it's not because I have trust issues. I just don't want problems. I don't get in fights. Like, listen.
No, it's fair.
I don't want problems.
I think your question is fair.
Yeah. I don't want problems. Because that guys with girlfriends who talks, and I'm like, and I find it insulting. But obviously, I know that they don't know me and they don't know what morals are. But I find it insulting. I've had married men. I've had a guy move to me. He was just giving my older sisters an invitation to his wedding. I was shocked. And he turned around. Obviously, I didn't look like I was in the conversation because obviously they're talking to him, whatever. So I'm on my phone or whatever. He turns around and says, oh, Chaz talked to me. He's moving to me. I said, didn't you just...
Are you sure though?
I promise you. I promise you. Because even my sisters were like, we're all confused. We're like, you're just talking to him about Ashrabi for the wedding. You said this in the boot of your car. You literally were going to go and get your wedding material from the boot of your car, and you thought, oh, first of all, let me talk to this girl. I said, now you're on crack. So me, I always ask a guy. I always ask. I don't want problems. I will not get got.
There's a statement by Kevin Samuels. All men cheat if they can. It's our biological drive.
It's your biological drive. Speak for yourself. I don't believe all men cheat. I don't believe all men cheat. I refuse to believe that. And it's not because I'm doing wishful thinking or I'm being naive. I just don't think all men cheat. I think there are situations where
I'm the same.
It could be easy for someone to cheat, but I think not everybody will give in to that temptation.
I don't even think it's close to all men, to be honest with you. I don't think it's close.
I don't think, I honestly, I don't believe that, man. So Kevin Samuels, back to the grave you go.
It's not close because all men don't have options.
No, just because even with options.
I think even men with options. You think that's like saying that no man has self-control. Like literally every single man has zero he has
lacks discipline.
Nah, not at all.
I don't believe that.
And that every single man is just dying for it, like all the time.
Dying for it. You gagging for it. I do believe though that men maybe I don't know if they do these days. I feel like you guys are smart guys, but a lot of men underestimate women's ability to cheat.
Funny. That's true.
So there's a thing that is going around where you all think that all Nigerian men cheat, no?
I don't think all Nigerian men. Brent, who have I said I'm going to marry?
Sorry.
I'm going to marry a lovely Nigerian man. My man will not be cheating.
How about
if he cheats, better let me know if I find out.
How about all Jamaicans?
No, I don't believe anybody
all
cheats.
West Indian men?
No.
All right.
I don't believe all anything cheat. The Italians are... The white boys are the worst for it. They could achieve anything. They might achieve
it's just bad PR basically. It's all.
I think but I do think as well. It's a lot of. I think with women, that sometimes when you go through something, it's difficult for you to throw in a sum when repeatedly it's the same thing that happens to you. Like and then you talk to your friends and the same things happen to them. Like, and not every woman is. I think it's just difficult not to not to make an assumption based off your experiences and maybe the experiences of people in your circle as well, because I haven't always had the best encounter with men, but even to that point, I never said like a thing of all men are useless or all men are like this way, because I'm very aware of how vast the world is, and even around me I've seen good men. Do you get what I mean? So for me, I would never be able to say all men cheat or all men do this, because that's not true. It's like when guys, it pisses me off when guys say, like all women want is this. Like all women are materialistic. All women want is for you to shower them with gifts. No, actually. Because I know the kind of woman I am. No, not that. So I think I always went off that, because I would hear guys say, do a lot of all women, and I knew I wasn't that. I can't then do all men, because somewhere there is a guy who's also thinking, that's not me.
Yeah, exactly.
I just think it's individuals, and unfortunately, sometimes you just keep meeting stupid individuals over and over again. But you need to get into prayer and fasting, because there's a problem with that. Yeah.
Right.
So why did Brent pronounce Jamaicans like that? Because
Jamaicans.
it's the right way. Jamaican.
Jamaican.
But all right, let's get into our last headlines for the day.
Right, so trigger warning here. A man has been shot dead by police in South London. Officers said that they were pursuing a suspect vehicle at about 21:50 on Monday and ended the chase by making tactical contact in Kirkstall Gardens, Streatham Hill. The victim is believed to be in his 20s, and he was subsequently shot and died in hospital.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, early hours of this morning. Efforts are underway to contact his family, the Met said, and the police watchdog is investigating. Police cordons and road closures are in place, and we will, of course, at TDA provide you with more details as soon as they're known to us.
That's sad. R.I.P. to the guy.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the last headline of the day is also another trigger warning. But there seems to be some progress with this case. A man has appeared in court charged with murdering 3 of his siblings in their home in the Republic of Ireland. Andy Cash, who's 24, of Rossfield Avenue in Tallaght in southwest Dublin, was charged on Monday night. 8-year-old twins Chelsea and Christy Corley and 18-year-old Lisa Cash died after they were allegedly stabbed to death in the early hours on Sunday. Cash allegedly knifed Lisa when she tried to protect the twins, while their 14-year-old brother managed to escape through a window and called for help. Lisa's body was found at the bottom of the stairs with apparent stab wounds. The suspect was arrested at home in Tallaght after a standoff with armed Garda's Irish police. The defendant appeared at a special sitting of Dublin District Court at 2100 local times yesterday at 9 o'clock. Garda Robert Whitty told the court that the accused replied no comment when he was charged with the murders. A defense solicitor requested a psychological assessment for his client and solitary confinement for him in custody. The judge said that was a matter for the prison governor. The defendant was remanded in custody and is due to appear before Cloverhill District Court in County Dublin by video link on Friday.
What kind of psycho?
That's crazy.
Horrible.
Are the parents alive?
Yeah, the parents are still alive. It's only the siblings that were attacked. Yeah, not too sure why.
Because it's crazy. But that's it. That's what's annoying now. They're going to do a psych assessment and be like, oh, diminished responsibility and and all these things. Nah. 3 whole lives. That's so mad.
Such a waste.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's
sad, man. Yeah?
Is
that it? Okay. All right. Well, let's get into the outro.